SoFi stock was up about 3.5% on Friday. As a lot of you guys know, SoFi is one of my largest holdings, so I watch this one pretty closely. And I think it's time we talk. What's going on with SoFi? And how high is SoFi going here in the near term? SoFi Technologies is a heavily shorted name, a beaten down stock, whereas its fundamentals would tell you the opposite. SoFi's fundamentals are impressive, and they've been improving and getting better over the past 2 years. Now that interest rates are falling, this sets SoFi up in a very interesting position. We're going to talk about it in this video. We also have Cathie Woods that continues to buy more SoFi Technologies. Let's go ahead and jump into it. This article from Investor Place came out today. It says why SoFi stock looks like excellent value heading into 2024. He says he's been bullish on SoFi Technologies for a while and that Cathie Woods agrees, continuing to purchase big chunks of SoFi stock throughout the year. This article says with 44 million US student borrowers, rising personal loan demand is anticipated, benefiting SoFi. Boosting notable growth, it attracted 717,000 new users, signaling a shift in consumer preference towards its services. This growth has important implications for SoFi stock. Financially, SoFi's deposits surged from 7.3 billion to 15.7 billion in 2023, reporting a robust 537 million in revenue, up 27% year over year. Projected to achieve profitability in Q1 of 2024, SoFi's financial strength highlights its strong market position. There's really no one better in the one-stop shop finance field as SoFi. Banks? No. The new demographic in the US, well, they're not big fans of banks. We want to do things on our phones and manage our own money in different ways. Ease of access every day on your phone. That's what people like. And that's where SoFi is really accelerating. See, SoFi is really good at cross-selling their products and services. For an example, if you buy your home through SoFi, you might start investing via SoFi Invest. You might refinance some other debts or take on a new auto loan with SoFi. Take on a personal loan. SoFi is very good at cross-selling their products. And that's one reason why SoFi has accelerated over the past 2 years in its growth, whereas a lot of companies have not. Cathie Woods also just bought SoFi stock again recently within the last week or so. ARK Invest purchased around 180,000 shares of SoFi stock. The transaction, valued at approximately 1.4 million, increased ARK's holdings to 1.9 million shares, totaling about $15.3 million. There has been some negative events, I guess you will say, depending on how you look at them. I don't think they're negative. I think they're kind of anticipated, at least for the EPS loss of 29 cents on the last earnings, whereas last year's loss was 9 cents. SoFi is aggressively reinvesting in their business, preparing for the next stage of their business, which is profitable growth. And there is some transition effects that are taking place right now, but this is not a trend of lower EPS to come for SoFi. Student loans just restarted, and it looks like about 60% of borrowers did not make their payments. Check this out. This news came out earlier in the day today. Only 60% of student loan borrowers made payments when bills restarted. In October, the pandemic-era pause on student loan payments expired, and some 22 million people had their bills due again. Just 60% of those borrowers had made a payment by mid-November, new U.S. Department of Education data shows. This should be bullish for SoFi, as all of these student loan borrowers say, dang, I really can't afford my payment right now. Maybe I need to do something about this. Maybe I need to refinance. Well, that's where SoFi comes in. If you Google student loan refinance, I will right now. Refinance. SoFi is always going to be the main one or the second main sponsored link here. So SoFi just advertised a lot for this to be in this position, and good ratings. People love SoFi. You get the idea. But this is going to help SoFi's business quite a bit, I would imagine. Here's the second little problem. I actually see this as a great thing, but this is a second little problem in the near term. It says, additionally, SoFi's role as a secondary underwriter in Instacart's IPO contributed to its disappointing performance, with SoFi stock exhibiting a downward trend since Instacart's debut on September 19th. SoFi is underwriting IPOs? Secondary underwriter, doesn't matter. Holy moly. You would have never thought that was going to happen 2 years ago. This really is starting to look like SoFi is here to stay and be a competitor to basically everyone. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, watch out. SoFi's coming to underwrite your IPOs. SoFi's option activity today was impressive. Out of 100% of the volume that traded hands and options today, 80.29% were calls, 19.71% were puts. That's insane. I mean, 4 times as many calls were bought than puts. For every 1 put that was bought, 4 calls were being bought. That's insane. That's pretty impressive. If you take a look at the open interest expiring this Friday, that is December 22nd, you do have call open interest of 65% and put open interest of 34%. So about a 2-to-1 ratio there as well. 2 times as many calls for this Friday's expiration than you see puts. On the day today from hedge funds and institutions, you've seen 26 orders totaling $3.78 million with a positive order value of 60%, so still pretty strong there as well. This data is, well, really good for a potential short squeeze in SoFi. I own a lot of SoFi for the long term, but could a short squeeze happen in the near term? Well, you do have 15.39% short interest of free float, so anything over 10 is considered extreme. Anything over 20 is considered like very extreme. So you're in that middle ground right now. You could certainly see shorts cover and give you upside. Could you see a big short squeeze? It's possible, but not as likely with 15% short interest, but still sizable. You do have about $1.29 billion worth of short positions currently on SoFi, 3.73 days to cover, 139.79 million shares currently sold short. Shares out on loan, 120.5 million. Cost to borrow, 0.75%. Utilization of 43.59%. And a short score of 66.28 out of 100. So it's actually scoring pretty good over here on the Ortex short score, meaning short squeeze could actually happen according to Ortex. As far as my position in SoFi, I have about $6,800 currently in SoFi, 700 shares at an average cost of $12.43. Still down about $2,000, about 22.22%, 15.56% of this entire portfolio. So do I like SoFi? Obviously. I liked it at $12.43. Do I like it at $9.67? Obviously. Now, I should have taken the chance to average down more when the stock was $4. So I personally hope SoFi falls, but I have a good feeling it's probably not going to. Because let's be honest here. If you are a big money investor that is looking to invest your clients' money for 2024, you want to be in interest rate sensitive names. You don't want to be in big tech that did very well in 2023 when rates were going higher and, you know, the end part of 2022. You want to be in interest rate sensitive names, but you want quality. You want companies that are either profitable or preferably about to become profitable, whereas SoFi is exactly that. You want companies that have been growing, that have been doing well in a high interest rate sector. And SoFi has done exactly that. The business today in SoFi is nothing like it was 2 years ago. It is quantifiably multitudes better than what you've seen 2 years ago. Okay, just no competition there. So I think for those reasons, SoFi probably gets some dollars heading into it, like you've seen today. Probably that's part of it. Now, the banks. SoFi is also in the banking sector. So the banks have been doing very well recently as rates have been falling. So SoFi also has that going for them. They're kind of grouped in this category that they really don't have much to do with. They're more, fintech, finance, consumer related compared to like a bank that just operates a little bit differently. SoFi is the technology version of a bank, maybe is the best way to put it. So as rates do continue to fall and 10-year treasury yields have now broke under 4%, SoFi stock should continue to benefit from capital heading into banks and similar stocks. And if we look at SoFi on the charts, SoFi's all-time high was $28.26. The stock has been falling for the last 2 years, really. You did hit that low at $4.24. You have been uptrending ever since, ever so slightly. 2 earnings ago, that is when SoFi hit $11.70. That was during the summertime rally. This was July of 2023 when your AI names were doing very well. Now, I could very easily make the argument that what we're seeing now for stocks is a lot more justifiable than what we've seen in the summertime. During the summertime, we were rallying off of AI hopium, essentially. Now we are rallying because it looks like we're avoiding a recession. Looks like the Fed is going to be cutting rates about 6 times next year. And hedge funds and institutions' big money is very underallocated to stocks. Record low allocations to stocks right now, which is something we have just not seen before in recent times. All of this is really unprecedented. But when you put it all together, what does it look like? It looks like interest rate sensitive names will benefit. We've started to see that, but I think that does continue. High quality interest rate sensitive names. And hedge funds and institutions need to get back into this market. And I think this is justifiable, what we're seeing in the markets. And I think it's probably a little underrated for something like a SoFi so far. I think SoFi should already be in the teens based on the significance of what we're seeing right now that I just mentioned. So I think SoFi does go higher from here. If you break out above $10 per share, that's where things could get a little more squeezy. Some shorts might opt to cover on some of their short positions above $10 per share. I do want to point out as well, Anthony Noto was a huge buyer of SoFi stock in 2022 as well as 2023, at least during the start of 2023. Now, Anthony Noto was buying shares as high as $8 per share and as low as $4 per share. So this is a pretty good sign that Anthony Noto is still excited about SoFi. Now, he was also buying shares in 2021 and late 2021 when SoFi was in between $14 and really $16 or $18 per share. So he was buying a lot of shares then, started buying a lot more in 2022. Again, in between $8 and $4. You haven't seen much buying since. You did see someone recently, which is the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, Christopher Lapointe, bought about $100,000 worth of SoFi on November 9th. So that's a pretty good sign. There's only one reason why people buy, or insiders buy SoFi or buy their own company stock. That's because they expect good things to come. There's multiple reasons why people sell stock: divorce, or buying a new house, or want to buy a car. A lot of individuals that are on the board, CFOs alike, get very small salaries, but can get compensated a lot in stock. The structure of SoFi would be interesting to see, but I'm sure it's something similar to what you see in other names, right? Have a $100,000 salary, you get a bunch of stock. So it makes up, a lot more than that. So that's something I think is very notable. Not a lot of other companies' executives have been buying their stock for years. I personally think it's all but certain over the next 2 to 3 months or so, SoFi is getting back up to about $12 per share, could even excel as high as $15 per share. If you've seen some form of short squeeze or good news or something that's really unforecastable right now, SoFi could get all the way back to $20 per share, and I really wouldn't think too much about it. I wouldn't sell my stock there. No way. This is a long-term buy and hold. SoFi is going places, and I want to be along for the ride. Let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comment section. What stands out to you the most? Is it the short position, being 15% short, $1.3 billion? Is it Cathie Wood's buying stock? Is it Anthony Noto, the CEO, that continues to buy stock? Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. What is your price targets as well here in the near term as well as the long term? Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.